Hello everyone, welcome to the 12th lecture on the course Mathematical Modeling and Simulation. In this lecture, we will see some random number generator algorithm. The goal of this lecture is to produce the sequence of the number in 0 to 1 that imitates the ideal properties of random number. So I have told you what are the properties of the random number in my previous lecture. I have also told you that these are the methods that are used for generating pseudo random numbers. So I will be discussing the first two, that is the mid square method and linear congruential method. So let's begin. In the early random number generator, we have a mid square method that was given by von Neumann and Metropolis in 1940s. So if we talk about the algorithm, first we need to start with the 4-digit number and we call it as seed. It depends upon your requirement. You can start with even 2-digit, 8-digit, whatever, but I am telling you the algorithm that is for 4-digit number. So suppose that you start with a 4-digit number z0 and you call it a seed. So if you square it up, you will obtain the 8-digit numbers. Now what we have to do, we have to take the middle 4-digit numbers. Like for suppose we got 8-digit number and we will just select the middle 4-digit number to obtain our next digit. Then we need to square it up and then again we will get a 8-digit number. And if we do not get a 8-digit number, we can append a 0 to the left. And to obtain a uniform random number in between 0 to 1, what we can do, we can simply place a decimal point in front of every random number. Like for example, you got the first random number as this and simply you can put a decimal point to get a random number in between 0 to 1. So let us see with the help of an example. So this I is nothing but it is telling you the iteration value. So our seed value is mainly this. So this one is a seed value and what we are doing, we are squaring it up. So you can see that we are getting a 8-digit number. So what we have to do, we will select the middle 4 digits and this will be our next seed value or the next random number. And here again what we have to do, we have to square it up and you can see that again we have to pick the 4 digits in between, then again square it up, again take 4 digits and carry on. Now over here you can see that when we select this as our random number, we get only 7 digits. So you have to append a 0 in front to make it a 8 digit. And again the same process, you will choose the middle 4 and then you will square it up. So here also you can see that there is a problem. Here there is a 0 0 in between. So the seed value will be only 78. You can see that this problem is happening and ultimately what will be the consequence of this, you will get only 0 0 0 in between. So this is a demerit of this method. Like you will see that you will not get a lot of random numbers. Now we will see other examples also. So if you choose this as a seed value, you will see that you can get these random numbers. Obviously these random numbers are got by putting a decimal in front. Like this is the seed value, I have just put a decimal in front. Now you will, if you square it up, you will get, and this one is the 4 digit in between. Now if you choose this, you will see that you will get these sequence of random numbers. Now again you can see the problem that this 0 0 is now persisting and this is showing you that the numbers are not generated uniformly in between 0 to 1, but it is biased towards 0, right? Because this will continue, this type of, that means that all the random numbers are generated near to 0. So these methods have many limitations. And again if I choose this as my seed value, you will see that this is repeating itself. Like I have got my second, this is my z0, right? This is my z1 and this z1 is getting over here. So for this the cycle length is very small. You can see what is the cycle length. It is generating 4 numbers because this one is already given by us. So it is only generating these 4 numbers, and again it is repeating itself. That means that it is having a very small cycle length, right? These are the limitations of mid square method. There is a need to improvise. So many researchers thought of improvising. They come up with the linear congruential method. So let's see what is this linear congruential method. Suppose that we want to generate a sequence of the numbers x1, x2 and so on. So we can do this with the help of a recursive relationship. What is this recursive relationship? This is xi plus 1 equal to axi plus c modulo m. So this one is a seed which we need to give. A, C and M are fixed. So whatever is generated over here we will put it again. So this is a recursive relationship. Now obviously if we change the value of A, M and C, the statistical property and the cycle length will change. Now if we want to generate the random numbers in between 0 to m minus 1, why I am saying m minus 1? Because it is obvious that this is modulo m. How do we operate this recursive relationship? We have to multiply a with our seed value, then we have to add c, and then we need to divide this with m, and whatever is the remainder is our new seed value. So obviously the remainder cannot exceed m minus 1, right? So we can only generate the random numbers from 0 to m minus 1. So let us just summarize the algorithm what we have seen over here. We can generate the random numbers by this recursive relationship. Here this is the seed, we need to multiply this with a, then we have to add a constant, and then we have to divide this number with m, and after dividing whatever is the remainder is my next value. Okay, so if we want to convert this into the random numbers in between 0 to 1, we can divide whatever is generated simply with m. So we can get the random number in between, that is uniformly distributed in between 0 to 1. Now let us take an example. Here we will use the seed value as 0 and this one is fixed. So a is 5, c is 3 and m is 7. Now you can see that by using the linear congruential method, I can generate the random numbers as follows. So this is a into xi, that is my x naught, plus c modulo m. So you can see that I have multiplied this x naught, that is 0, into 5, that is my a, plus c, that is 3, and if you calculate this you can see that I will get 3, and now I have to divide this with 7. So 3 divided by 7 gives me remainder 3. Now how the random numbers can be generated in between 0 to 1? It can be generated simply by 3 divided by 7. So I will get this number. Now this number will be used as my second seed. So here I will use x1 into a plus 3, that you can calculate it as 18, and when you divide it with 7 you get the remainder 4. And how will you generate the next random number? By 4 divided by 7 you will get this. Then the next random number will be generated by taking 4 over here and then into a plus 3, that is 23, and then again if you divide it with 7 you will get the remainder as 2. So this will be used as my next number, that is my next seed value. So 2 into a plus 3, that is 13, and if you divide this with 7 you will get the remainder 6. This is my next number. Again do the same thing, you will get 33, then divide by 7 you will get the remainder 5. And random numbers, as I have told you, can be generated by dividing it by m. And at the last you will see that when I will multiply this 5 with 5, right, it's 25 plus 3, that is 28, and if you take the remainder it is coming out to be 0, and it is matching with the same as from where we have started. So it will generate again the same numbers. So for this example also the cycle length is very small. Another thing you have observed is that it is not necessary, like for in this example where we have chosen our x naught as 27, a as 17, c 13 and m 100, we can see that our seed value is 27 and at the fourth number only we are getting 27 and only this much random numbers are generated, and you can see that the cycle length is very small, that is 4. I have told you that we can generate the random numbers in between 0 to m minus 1, but you can observe that here we can't even generate 50 random numbers. So how we can increase the cycle length? This is the problem. Another problem is that if you change the seed value, you will see that the cycle length also changes for different seed value. If I give you one example, you can see that if I select my A, C and M as this, and if I choose my seed value as 1, you can see that I will get these many random numbers, and at the 16th iteration I will again get 1, right, from which I started. So you can see that here the cycle length is 16, but for the same values of A, C and M, if I choose x naught, that is my seed value, as 2, I will see that I am getting the same value from which I started at the 8th position. That means that here the cycle length reduced to 8. Again, if I choose a seed value as 3, you will see that we can get 15 random numbers, and again it is repeating from the seed value. If we take x naught, that is our seed value, as 4, you will see that only these many random numbers are generated, that is only 4 random numbers are generated. This gives you an idea that x naught also influences the sequence which this linear congruential generator is producing. So Hull and Dobel give the solution to this problem. They gave a theorem. Suppose that this is our linear congruential generator. This is same whatever I have shown you, only this is x plus 1 and I have written over xi, it is the same, and they gave this theorem to ensure that this generator has a full period m, right? So what is the theorem statement? It says that a linear congruential generator has a full cycle m if and only if these three conditions are true. So the first condition is that the GCD in between m and c should be equal to 1, and this is the second condition, that if q, that is a prime number, if it divides m, then this implies q must divide a minus 1. And the third condition is if 4 divides m, then 4 should also divide a minus 1. Now if all these three conditions are satisfied, we can say that the linear congruential generator will have the full cycle length. Now let us see one example that fulfilled all these three conditions. Now you can see that if I take m as 2 to the power k, if my m is 2 to the power k, a is 4b plus 1 and c is odd, right? So you can see that all these three conditions are satisfied. You can see that here m and c are, m is even because it is 2 to the power k and c is odd, then GCD will be equal to 1. And also q is a prime. You can see that the only prime that is dividing m will be 2 because it is 2 to the power k. So only prime that can divide this will be 2. So 2 divides m. Obviously this implies that 2 divides a minus 1. For this setting you can see that a minus 1 is 4b, that is again divided by 2. And here b and k are greater than 0. And also this one, that 4 divides m implies 4 divides a minus 1. Obviously this k should be greater than or equal to 2, then 4 will also divide this, right? And it can be also seen that for this setting this will also hold true. So Hull and Dobel gave this theorem that if these three conditions are satisfied, then the linear congruential generator will have full period. That means it will generate all the numbers in between 0 to m minus 1. So this is one of the settings which satisfy all the conditions, right? So we can take one example. This is chosen m as 2 to the power 13, a as 21 and c as 5. Now you will see that for this setting all the three conditions are satisfied. That is, m and c has GCD 1, obviously, because this is even and this is odd, it will have GCD 1. Then 4 divides this implies also 4 divides a minus 1, that is 4 divides 20, and 4 also divides 2 to the power 13, and also 2 divides 2 to the power 13 implies 2 divides a minus 1, that is 20. And you will find out that all the three conditions are satisfied for this setting, and this setting will have the full period length for any choice of x0. That means that you can choose any seed value, it will have a full period cycle length. There was another paper that was given by Lewis, Goodman and Miller. What they have done, they have chosen the values such that it utilizes the full capacity of 32-bit computer. So they use this linear congruential generator where you can see that C is equal to 0. So what they have given, if A is equal to this, C is equal to 0 and M they have set as this. With this setting we will have maximum period. All the numbers in between this 0 to 2 to the power 31 minus 1 will be generated before coming back to this seed number. Anything, whatever is the seed number, all the numbers in between this will be generated. So this setting uses the full capacity of 32-bit computer, and you can generate the random numbers just by dividing xi by m plus 1. Why this is done? Just to make it simple for the computers to calculate, because you know that computer does calculations in binary. So here if you do m plus 1, it will become 2 to the power 31, and dividing it with a binary number will be simple for computer rather than dividing by this number, right? So you can generate, it's up to you how you want to generate the random numbers in between 0 to 1. So for making it simple for the computers, you can divide it with m plus 1. Earlier we divided it with m. So I will end this lecture over here. Thank you.